Some stories are so powerful, they demand your full attention. And Natalie Harkin's Apron-Sorrow, Sovereignty is exactly that kind of book. It shines a revealing light on a painful chapter in South Australia's history that many would prefer to forget. The lives and struggles of Aboriginal women and girls who were forced into indentured domestic service between 1907 and 1961. But here's where it gets controversial. The exploitative system that trapped these women went largely ignored, their wages withheld or stolen, and their connection to family and culture severed. Harkin doesn't just retell their stories. She brings them vividly to life, demanding recognition and reconciliation. Natalie Harkin is an award-winning poet, artist, activist, and scholar of Narungga heritage who was raised on Kaurna land. She has devoted much of her career to advancing truth-telling in the journey toward reconciliation, using both creative and scholarly means. In this latest work, she masterfully intertwines documentary evidence, direct transcripts from archives, and artistic expression to recover the silenced histories of Aboriginal domestic servants in South Australia. These women's stories, long overshadowed and undervalued, now take center stage through Harkin's compassionate lens. This important book begins with a foreword by the renowned Aboriginal scholar and activist, Jackie Huggins, setting the tone for a deeply moving and necessary work. Harkin herself descends from women who were caught up in this colonial system of domestic servitude, lending her narrative an authenticity and urgency that has been shaped by years of reflection and haunting memories. Reflecting on her archival research, she writes with emotional intensity, "This is private, intimate reading, and these young women and girls will not let me rest. Their voices penetrate every membrane of every cell in my body until I recognize them as my own, and like proper good nanas and aunties, they are not letting me off the hook. Their apron linen is pressed against my skin, and I see their dust rise and float on shards of light. My hands are red raw, and my back aches. The book is not only powerful in content, but also visually stunning. Harkin's colored photographs showcase her performance art, installations, and a lead light triptych, all created in collaboration with the Unbound Collective, a highly acclaimed group of First Nations women based on Kaurna Yarta, of which Harkin is a member. These artistic elements enrich the reading experience, providing emotional and aesthetic depth. Additionally, scattered throughout are poems that break up the prose, offering moments of reflection and enhancing the overall impact through rhythmic variation. One of the most memorable sections is titled Memory Stories, where Harkin presents 12 deeply personal oral histories. These narratives were gathered through extensive, open-ended conversations, during which the wisdom and laughter of grandmothers and aunties from generations past guided the discussions. Harkin describes this beautifully. Our grandmothers from forever away, and not so long ago, invited themselves to the table, poured themselves a strong cuppa from the steeping teapot, and guided our conversations with laughter, lessons, and love. This section shines as a celebration of Aboriginal women's resilience and dignity despite the harsh realities of domestic servitude. The shared experiences bind past and present generations, creating a profound sense of community and continuity. Readers may find themselves deeply moved, perhaps placing one hand over their hearts while raising the other in solidarity. Sharon Meager, one of the storytellers, captures this sentiment perfectly. Mum was always humble, and I know she would be proud for her story to be out there. Yet, if memory stories uplifts the lived experiences, the following section, Voices from the Archive, delivers an emotional blow. After sifting through 2,549 pages from the State Records Aboriginal Information Management System, Harkin exposes readers to the raw, often chilling documents related to these domestic workers. These archival materials reveal the harsh realities behind the scenes, letters between white government officials and privileged employers seeking live-in help, where girls were described in terms of their blackness and ages, treated more as commodities than human beings. The cold bureaucracy also denied many requests that should have been basic rights, like holidays. Girls who were refused breaks for years, then asked for day trips home, only to be turned down again due to concerns they might struggle to reintegrate with their families. The voices in these documents, whether from the state, employers, families, or the girls themselves, offer a stark window into systemic racism and exploitation. Apron-Sorrow, Sovereignty, is an essential contribution to Australia's historical and cultural record. It is both beautiful in its celebration of resilience and brutal in its exposure of injustice. Natalie Harkin deserves high praise for her courage in presenting these stories and archival records unflinchingly, broadening Aboriginal archives and helping us all confront the painful legacies of colonialism. This book challenges us to ask, how many more forgotten stories lie hidden in archives waiting to be reclaimed? And how do we, as a society, reconcile with these harsh truths? Are we ready to truly listen, acknowledge, and act upon them? I invite you to share your thoughts. Do you believe this kind of truth-telling can heal, or will it reopen wounds? Let's discuss.